Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Epic Gaming Television, and today we bring you a match between Orange Esports and Neolution MRR. This is HoNTourSEA Southeast Asia G League Cycle 3, and yes, this is round number 15, the last round. I'm Babael, and with me is Lark.
Yeah, man, last round. Finally, we're done for cycle number 3, or we are going to be done for cycle number 3. Unfortunately, yesterday we couldn't cast the games because of server instability issues, so just going to postpone it towards today. Hopefully, you guys are okay with that because we have Orange versus MRR, man. Couldn't expect for more. Like, MRR is currently third place in G League tables with 31 points, and Orange Esports is all the way up there in the first position at 38 points, so are we finally gonna see Orange Esports win G League for once, or what is it gonna be like? Only time can tell.
Exactly. So, well, this game is important because if MRR loses this, they would probably be out. Do not anti-Moon Queen. They are only at position number. I do believe they've got 25 points, if I'm not wrong again. And yep, if MRR loses this, they are pretty much done. So, let's go into this lobby here. That said, well, it's interesting to see that being the last game, lots of shout out going out. But first of all, the band hero are Tempest, Fate Scout, as well as Wretched Hack. Now, what do you have to say to that?
Well, Tempest Phase Scout Wretched Hack. It just means that for the Legion team, they want to make sure that they don't give MRR that Tempest that they so love to use every single time. I mean, they know their team, the team that they're facing against, and they know that they can do a lot of work. Same thing for MRR. I mean, Fade generally is always banned out, but with Orange Esports, they know how to run him really nicely, either in the mid lane or Shui in the Fade. He always does work for some reason. Like, even if he goes like really unconventional items like the Helm of the Black Legion, it's really nice to see that he actually can roam with it in that more of like secondary support role. As for the Scout, of course, Scout just generally is another super strong hero. MR like kind of likes to run him in more of the carryish role rather than the off lane, which I feel like could be much more better and more utilized. But yeah, I mean this game this time around we're not going to see Tempest, so I do believe Keeper can still be picked out. I definitely think a team should pick it up because it'll be pretty strong. Legion team can do that if they want. Like, they have the Ophelia ready if they go for a Keeper of the Forest and then follow it up with the last two picks of a Demented Shaman and Balfagor. That just means super pushing potential.
Yep, that's right. So in this particular situation here, we got a lot of pushing potential coming from the Legion team as well. So, well, definitely we see the MOA and Engineer splitting sides, and that's pretty fair. It's been going on for some time already, and we don't see the keeper pick just yet. But Tempest already being banned out means that the keeper is also being, of course, being still a very viable hero. It's just that the keeper is one of those heroes that does provide a lot of lockdown. So if they're looking for that kind of thing, they definitely have that. On Help on team, you've already got the bubbles as well as the engineer combo, so that's very nice to see. Bubbles capture does provide sizable amount of lockdown, and on Legion side, they do respond very nicely with a rally. And rally on middle lane being played by Kido is just going to be so devastating. The compel as well as that of the seismic slam. But also do note that rally can also be on Cipher, also known as Enkiller, and he's been playing it, I do believe, on Wednesday night, pretty successfully in the long lane. So we need to be really careful about this combo coming from Orange Esports.
Definitely. And like, if I was MR right now, I'd definitely pick out something like Prisoner 9 for 5 because that just synergizes really nicely with the sorry, Bubbles and Engineer, because Bubbles with that Kelpfield will lock them in place. If they run out, they get stunned. If you throw out your ulti as well with that Prisoner 9 for 5, it's just gonna mean that you definitely will lock them back in place and stun them for another 3 seconds. And like, that wombo combo is pretty insane because like, if you have Engineer going in first with the energy field, you pull them you pull them out. Like, I mean, like, they try to run out of it because of the bubbles, kelp field, then you pull them back in with that Prisoner 9 for 5 ult. It can be pretty devastating if executed nicely. I doubt we'll see that, but you'll never know.
Yep, exactly. So, well, so far, it's just really interesting to see that a lot of stuff happening in the background here. And, well, the band heroes, it seems like the second banding phase is going to nicely complete itself here. We do have the Magmus, the Moon Queen, 945, Dark Lady, Sandwraith, and Dampier. Dampier these days are pretty much being picked up by Orange Esports as well. They are very strong. It is a very strong rotational carry. This perspective also in the early game very exceptionally strong. That being said, though, the Moon Queen Dark Lady all gonna be banned away. It seems like they know that Orange doesn't have the carry role fulfilled here, so they're gonna have to address that. But it's interesting to see that they didn't address that of the mid role, maybe assuming that Rally's gonna go mid. But I have a gut feel that this is gonna be on Sifra. Or not actually, Rally is indeed gonna be played by Kido, and Walter definitely is gonna be on Endkiller, and that would be a long lane Walter. Seeing that there's an Ophelia there, they could go for pseudo tri lane, or maybe Ophelia's gonna be playing their own jungle. It could be solo long lane, solo mid, or maybe dual mid as well as a solo bottom. So all that's left is going to be the carry. They do have the Draconis, and WTF's Draconis, let me tell you. Oh boy, this just goes way back, man.
Yeah, he really loves that Draconis. That's always been like the go-to carry for Orange Esports way back when they still had the MSHC. Well, not the MSHC. I think it was the TMHMC or something like that. I can't really remember the name, but they ran the Dragon almost every single game, and it produced a lot of results. There is a Soul Steal pickup on MRR though. That's a pretty nifty pick over there. Nowadays we get to see the Soul Stealer getting picked up, time and time again, more like a niche pick to kind of run with certain strategies. And in this kind of sense, it is kind of okay because of the lockdown coming up from the bubbles. There will be a lot of burst damage as well. Like currently, they have a lot of magical burst damage now from the Soul Stealer, Torturer, bubbles, and that Engineer. They need more physical, but physical is nicely addressed by Soul Stealer as well. With the Soul Steal, that ability just got buffed really, really hard. I don't really agree with the Tremble pickup here coming out from Orange Esports, but it does tie in really nicely with the way that they kind of running their really push heavy lineup, and there is a lot of gang potential as well, because once Trouble hits that level 6, has that hive mind, he's gonna be, and that I think his name's Boris, yeah. Once he has that summon, he's gonna be able to rotate all across the map with his terraform mounts and just catch people off guard with this rally and the Master of Arms.
Yep, that's right. Now, gonna have to do a little bit of a correction here. It seems like AMQ is already out of the road to the playoffs, simply because they are only at 25 points, and even if they do win today's match, they are only at 28. MR is already at 29. That main reason is because they do draw on round number 13 with KID, I do believe, and MR. Unfortunately for them, that's unfortunate for MR, but unfortunate for AMQ, they have won in the last 2 rounds of cycle 3. So that's kind of sad for MQ. But therefore, we do have almost 0 impact walking into this game. Of course, definitely S2Y has got a lot of vested interest in this particular game for a wide myriad of reasons, and I'm going to cover that a little bit later. Now, I'm going to go back into this game straight up here. And we do see both teams gonna nicely clump in 5. Gonna introduce this team really nicely. We do have Team Orange Esports on Legion side, and Hellborn we also got Neolution MR from Thailand. Orange Esports definitely from Malaysia. And we do have Mr. Ghost Top Troller. He is gonna be your MOA. Rally being played by Kido. WTF there is being played by Tremble. Cipher, also known as Ankler, is expected gonna be your wild. So last but not least, is gonna go and reprise his role in the jungle, and that would be the Ophelia. Meanwhile, down south we do have the Bubbles 07TV1. Now gonna chance on Boo Boo, but he's okay. And on Hellborn, as I mentioned before, it's gonna be Neolution MRR. So starting from the top there, we do have Color X. He's gonna be your Torturer. Bomb Rusher Paul gonna rotate to the support row. He is gonna be your Engineer. Chittaban X mid lane, and that is the Pestilence. DQ on the carry Soul Stealer. Last but not least, as I said before, 07TV1, also known as 07T, he is going to be your Bubbles.
Yep, and currently Bubbles is gonna go like I've noticed MR, they always do this. They have their offlane hero, whatever hero it is. They always have 07T just actually pull the wave with the hero himself and actually bring it all the way back to the defense tower over there and slowly farm that out to just get that first wave of experience, so that at least he can reach that level 2 without worrying too much of like dying and such. Because if he has that level 2, that means he has like a Shell Surf or even a Silence, or if he wants to go for more survivability, he'll definitely go for the take cover. There's a lot of things that they can decide to do. The WTF already has placed his Terra Mount, and there is a see, here we go. Bubbles actually just pulling that. That's what he really likes to do, and Ophelia just can't respond fast enough. Unfortunately, Hellborn, they should have actually what do you call this, warded off the jungle so that this Ophelia can't be that aggressive, because they have a Torture in their own jungle around there, or kind of like in that pseudo top lane, a dual lane there, because he can easily box out the Ophelia if he tries to go in for anything. But unfortunately, it's not gonna happen, so Ophelia will have those minions to work with, and middle lane it's gonna be Engineer, Pestilence versus this Rally and Master of Arms. It's kind of hard to tell who will exactly win, but I do believe that Hellborn team is much more easier in terms of like setting up a kill. Here we go though.
There we go, mid lane, a little bit of engagement going on. Compel definitely landing very quickly, but a quick response there by Pasty. And that's going to be the Impel coming up from below. And definitely a little bit of extra harassment onto the rally. But Kido is doing pretty well himself. And the extra stun coming from MOA, it seems like it's going to be fine. Fog Lightning also maybe looking for the angle for a quick Compel, but he doesn't want to overextend, just going to go for the Blight Stones to just regenerate a little bit. So mid lane should be just fine. And I am not expecting Pasty or Kido to go down so soon.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you saw a lot of the regen was already used pop there. Master of Arms has no more regen. Engineer still has his regeneration available, so that's some good signs for them. But the main thing is that Rally is going to be in this lane for a really long time. I wanted to address the bottom lane and how the new Terra Mount works. It's kind of like how can I say? It's like Dota 2's spider. What's his name? What's the spider guy's name? Brood Mother's yeah, web, but it can actually be killed once you have like the vision to see it. Top lane the engineer.
Yep, Reaver right now, it seems like Engineer Bomb Rusher Paul taking a little bit of hit there from the MOA, but it should be fine. That means that mid lane it's going to be only the Pasty against Kido's Rally. And it seems like they are just fine, definitely having a little bit of a brawl there, but the Gore, oh, Lucky Gore going to proc. But other than that, it seems like nothing much severe happening anyway. So far, the goal lead is almost close to 0. And examining the highest CS so far, it's going to be 14-7 and Tremble doing a really good job down south.
Yeah, and that's a good haste rune actually just picked up by Bubbles to... He actually picked up a kill onto one of the creeps coming from Ophelia. I'm not sure if he wants to go in. He can actually go in again and just like steal that Vagabond leader if he wants to do so. But he's gonna go ahead and just sap experience here and the lane. But yeah, man, Tremble's getting really scary because that's a level 2 Terror Mount and Impalers already. So he even picked up the boots so they can just instantly harass Bubbles at anytime it's available. Bubbles will have a hard time against this Tremble because of that Terror Mount as well. He has to deal with it unless he steps in.
Lane. Waltzo having a little bit of a trouble there. Impalement is going to be used here. The chain reaction already went down. Now Waltzo is going to be stole a little bit there. And the first demand hand is going to connect. The second one might kill this Waltzo and killing a lot of trouble there. But Lucky Boo Boo, his companion, is going to proc that. But unfortunately though, the health potion is not going to regenerate enough. The strike there by the Torturer is going to make sure that that will be stopped. And Soul Stealer will pick it up nicely.
Yeah, that was a nice Demon Hand snipe there coming up from Soul Stealer. That's good. That's what Soul Stealer needs. Every time you have a Soul Stealer in a game, especially if he's in the more of like that short lane role or bottom lane, it might be a gang.
Yeah, bottom lane seems like a Bubbles now in a little bit of a tight pinch himself. Will Shell Surf or attempt to run away, but here comes Ophelia from behind. Is he able to do something? I don't think so. Bubbles is going to be fine.
Yeah, I felt like they could have actually played a little bit more properly. Like Shui should have just sent his Minotaur way behind those lines there. Tremble could have actually just auto-attacked him, gone towards his own mount, then port to his secondary mount at the back. Like, there's a lot of ways you can use Tremble. Like, even just auto-attacking him when he's near your tower, when he tries to use a Shell Surf, make sure you have a Terror Mount in the back there, easily port to it. It's really nice to see that kind of gameplay. But Bubbles doesn't have take cover just yet, so that's why he's playing a little bit more passively. He does have an invisibility rune now. I don't think they can pick up a kill. Maybe they can, but there's Master of Arms. Okay, he used the charge shot, so no, okay, maybe not. He used the keg stun already, so that's... I don't think they're gonna be able to pick up a kill anytime soon. Although Bubbles does have his red boot, so if there's some good body blocks, there might be something happening.
Impale, not gonna be landing there, but quick charge shot from the MOA is gonna land onto the Pestilence. Pestilence now, I mean, just slightly below 50% health thereabouts. He should be in a fairly safe spot, but you know, a quick gang from Orange is gonna make sure that he's gonna go down quickly. But it seems like Kido in the jungle role, this Orange is very different. The strategy is mainly passive playing, and so far MR have a slight advantage in the fact that, you know, they don't have a real jungler. They have got a lot of dual support going on, and that's gonna mean that a lot of aggression can land on Ophelia if they want to rotate into the jungle.
Yep, and you see Ophelia is he's getting heavily harassed, by the way. Bubbles is here. They're gonna ward this what do you call this jungle yet again, so it's just gonna screw up Ophelia's farm even much more. But the thing is, Ophelia's been getting really lucky because he's getting a lot of Vulture Lords, and like that's the perfect creep you can have whenever you want to farm really quickly. Boris is already available as well. On this Tremble, who's already sitting level 6, so he just needs to set up a Terror Mount somewhere and can easily gank. Like, even in this mid lane right now, there's 3 heroes here, but suddenly Boris comes up, that's like half a hero, and then boom, suddenly what's his name? Tremble is there as well, so that's like you know, what, 3.5, and that's very scary numbers to deal with. Top lane though, at least Soul Stealer, he is sitting already at 30 souls, and he does have his Steam Boots, by the way, so he's gonna be fairly tanky. And he's gonna dish out a lot of damage as well.
Yep, he is, and that's it. Those 6 minutes gonna be out really quickly here, and still looking at almost only 1 kill in this game. It's passive gaming at its very best, and it is definitely gonna mean that Ophelia will have extra gold, simply because, I mean, in the jungle you have extra, it's an extra pool of resource for you. So if you do go there, it's definitely gonna benefit your team a lot more in general. But the problem so far is that she's getting harassed, and as you can see, once the harassment stops, she's gonna get good farm, and we're looking at her with sizable GPM of about 200 plus. Definitely Angular in the top lane is one of the main reasons why ORGE Sport is not having a very high GPM also. He does only have a total of 12 creep kill and 3 creep. Meanwhile, mid lane, it seems like Pasty is gonna be able to try run away here, but it seems like it's just so clutch gameplay. Very low health point, might be able to do something here. It's not gonna be good enough, but Bomb Rush Ball is gonna take the fall for him, and that's very close. Rally there is just standing at very low health point. I do believe he was down to about 30 plus only.
Yeah, and Torture will die. Oh, maybe not. Okay, Tremble kind of man down. He doesn't have Boris available. Where's Boris? I can't see. No, okay, his Boris died in the previous engagement, but yeah, like I was mentioning right there, that's the power of the Tremble. Easily ganks. You saw right there middle lane, suddenly one latch out from the, what was it, the Boris? I can't remember what the hell the skill name was, that latch, and then suddenly Tremble appears, and you saw Pestilence was about to die, but that was a clutch health potion coming in from Engineer at the right timing after that final auto attack from that range hero, so from Massive Arm, so he survived, and that was really, really clutch, because at least they didn't trade the death on the Pestilence. They only traded it for the Engineer, so it's not as bad.
That's right, so Pasty very clutchly will be able to save himself, but of course NG is going to have to take his place for that. So far, Orange Sports with WTF playing as a character, he does make Tremble look like a very mobile hero, and that is what we like. Remember the whole Sandrift theory? Is the fact that Sandrift being a carry can farm, as well as the fact that he's got Mirage, which makes him a very viable carry because he can always go out and gank people. But the problem with Tremble is that he doesn't have that terror going into the late game stages. It's just a little bit more weaker as compared to Sandrift, but a lot more tankier. So that's the difference between the Tremble as well as the Sandrift. But here comes the bite on the bubbles. Will force the bubbles, shall surf, and he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I don't really like the Tremble pickup in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of other carries they can go for, even if they wanted to have that much more aggression. I think they originally wanted to go with a Dampier as their pickup, but because they didn't have that, they wanted to go for Tremble, who's gonna go.
Oh, it seems like Bubbles right now might be made soup of again. He is gonna be chomped down, but it seems like a WTF nicely timing the back away. He knows when to call it quits, but it seems like Milling right now, a little bit of an extra stun, and Minotaur's gonna let down on Pesty, and Pesty may not be so lucky this time, and he goes down quickly. It seems like Shoei's Minotaur is gonna be challenged, and Boris also. Just a very nice little happy family we see here, you know? All the small little kids, Boris and Minotaur and stuff like that. It really makes me feel very heartwarmed.
Yeah, that's really good rotations by Ophelia, as well as good micromanagement coming from WTF with that Boris to get that latch off while he was ganking the bottom lane at the same time. So just really well played by Tremble right now. WTF doing good work with his hero, and when he reaches that level 11, it'll get that much more scarier, because the way that Boris works is you have to actually up the level before the movement speed slow gets activated. But here we go, top lane though. Soul Stealer doing good work, finally did destroy the tier 1 top. Has a lot of gold saved up, I believe. I do believe it's he probably bought something, maybe even a Mighty Blade, or if he's just sitting on the same items for a long time, then that's kind of unfortunate to see. But the bear, I think earlier died a little bit earlier on when there was some aggression being placed by Soul Stealer, so that's why he's always been able to pick up on a lot of farm. And like killing the bear, it gives a huge bounty, so you can't really just give that up in the early stages of this game, especially to a Soul Stealer.
Yep, you can, and that being said, about 10 minutes gonna be up real soon here. And so far, examining MRR's current lineup here, or rather the laning, you're gonna tell that mid lane, there's a lot of trouble going on here. Pesty already losing the rally in terms of level here, only level 6 against that of 7, as well as the fact that bottom lane you got Bubbles against that of a Tremble that is just constantly harassing him, biting on him every now and then. So still it's gonna have to admit that he does have the easiest of lanes so far against only a Wild Soul, and he does have 1 kill nicely snagged up already, so he's gonna have to perform in this game. Q has got a lot of pressure there, and here comes the Boris. Nice slash there again on the Pesty, and even a little bit of extra support coming in there. A nice kick, but it's gonna miss on the Rally. Rally now looking to be in a little bit of a pinch himself, but Pesty somehow still standing. Rally takes the fall, and because of Soul Stealer making a big statement here, the Granddaddy is finally gonna join the team fight here, and now the Keck is also gonna connect. Ophelia gonna be a little bit of a tight pinch himself. He is also gonna go down. Demon Hand again, just so effective there. Torture making a last minute clutch stun, and maybe MOA is going to be ongoing, but here comes Tremble, and it's the fight of the carry, and there we go. The energy field is going to make sure the Tremble is going to slow a little bit there, but he does go into his mount, and he's just completely invisible right now. He will try run away, but he will be revealed again because of a body block by Bubbles, and it seems like they are just so clutch. They might be looking at a quick shot sub, and it is going to connect. Down goes WTF, and that's going to be the carry for Orange so far in the first step for him.
Yeah, that was really clutch. That was unfortunate. Oh my god, WTF, he just body blocked himself. He could have actually ran down a bit and avoided the bubbles, but because the bubbles got blocked himself long enough for the fade time to disappear, and then the rest of the teammates just went in and did whatever they had to do. That was just really nicely played because they picked up a lot of kills over there. The Pestilence did not die, by the way. They only lost the Torture, so that was really good. That was actually a good part from Torture as well, to actually turn around and throw out the stun, because he knew that the rest of his teammates had his back. The tower eventually started attacking someone, I can't remember which hero it was, but it was someone else, and eventually that allowed him to stay alive that much more longer.
That's it, towers are all AI scripted, so you know that whoever auto attack or rather last auto attack the hero, he's gonna be able to just be sniped by the tower. So Torture, he knows that he stopped attacking, he's gonna land a stun, he's gonna be fine. And that's the main reason also. Do note that there were 4 members there, so a lot of peer pressure or rather peer morale there. It's gonna help him a lot. That said, before we talk about that a little bit too much, here comes a Assassin Shroud on Duikyu. What the hell is going on here? They are farming or printing money again, and this is what we like to see. Ironically enough, it is. That being said, well, before we go on, Lark, do note WTF could have taken the separate route down to the mid lane again. He does have more Terramount previously there, so he would have been a lot safer juking back into this Invis Terramounts rather. But that being said, before we let you talk again, it seems like mid lane is gonna get ganked. And it's gonna be the same invisible Soul Stealer just dealing a shit ton of damage, 329 crit damage, just coming out to smacking him in the face there, slapping him like a boss. Meanwhile, Riley takes he has his own share of damage also, and he's gonna get demon handed down there again. Soul Stealer doing a lot of work. Double tap goes out to him. Level 11. This is a raid boss now. It's not the same tiny small little demon. It's one big boss.
Yeah, true. That's actually really what's happening right now on the Hellborn team. But if you look at it in a general point of view, Legion team is actually making good work of their heroes. They're utilizing it right now. They're not as far behind because, as you saw, Hellborn tried to push at the bottom, at the mid, and you see bottom and top is already being pushed by both Tremble and this Balso Field, and that's kind of okay. So now you can see the effect of why they picked up the Terrier.
Here comes Invisible Soul, still looking for a big soul burst. He's gonna fart, and down goes the fart. Seems like Ophelia will be slow slightly though, but he doesn't have enough mana for 2 demon hand. Maybe enough for 1 only. Wait, he does have, but the Raid Master's Call is just so clutch. Here comes Engineer. Bomb Rusher Paul says, I'm gonna clean up for you. Don't worry, I'll wipe your ass crack. That's okay. And then Bomb Rusher Paul doing a really good job there. So that's it, man. It's all in good faith there, but don't forget they do manage to take down the tier 2 down south. So that's gonna work for Orange, a huge deal of favor there.
Yeah, that was like they utilized their heroes to their full potential. They knew they couldn't take a team fight head on. That was a good decision by them to take both the tier 1 top and bottom. But a little bit of overextension there by Ophelia. Like the rest of his teammates already backed off. They in fact also get the tier 2. So I mean, it's a deny, but still that just means that opens up space for them. They can't really afford to give up more denies because they need that gold for the heroes. A lot of them need a lot of this, and middle lane there's so many ports going in. Like MR right now is just training this game.
They are, and like they always say, the train better not stop, because if it stops, things are definitely going to shift in a different favor. But right now it seems like MR doesn't have any intention to do that. They are also going to be able to nicely reward away the Terror Mount there, and that's going to be really effective for them. They are investing a lot in the War Revelation somehow. And that being said, Team Legion, I mean, they've got the Tremble, but the problem is, can the Tremble take the fight to the Soul Stealer? And we might be able to see that right now. Here comes the big Impale. Soul Stealer, no Soul Burst needed, and down goes Rally. Tremble out of trouble there. He does go down. Already strangulated, but not enough. And now it seems like MOA might be a lot of trouble there. MRR showing who's boss here. It's going to be a double tap again for Duikyu. And it seems like Soul Stealer just being the raid boss is like nothing can stop him in this game here.
Yeah, I mean, MR, they just keep pushing off. I'm actually like, earlier on when I was like talking about Soul Stealer and how he only had 800 gold in the bank, I knew that he definitely had something in his stash because it felt like he was farming top lane forever, so having that amount of gold is just way too low. Ended up suddenly having a Assassin Shroud, and now paired with that Pestilence, it just means that it's gonna be gank city right now. There's gonna be ganks every single bloody place across this map. They are currently getting the map control right now because of that middle lane push. Now they just need to force some
Oh,
aggression.
Soul
Oh, here we
Stealer
go.
might meet up against Ophelia here. It seems like the first stun is going to miss though. It's Triple Minotaur. There is no Lyric there. And sometimes it's good to have a Skeleton King instead. But that being said though, Walso was trying to push down the tier 3 in the bottom lane by himself. But really only a level 9 with almost nothing in his inventory. It's going to be really hard for him. And that said though, 60 minutes going to be up. And it seems like MR is in a very good spot for this game.
Yeah, they are very in a good spot. The thing is that they need to keep in mind that there is still that wild soul they have to deal with. It's a very annoying
There is a
hero.
lot of ref here. Soul Stealer is gonna know this because the soldiers are gonna betray Team Legion though, so that's gonna be interesting to see. Here comes the Impel Stun again onto Rally, but he does have the double damage, and Pesty is gonna just provoke him a little bit. He's gonna fall back though.
Yeah, there's not enough follow-up initiation. Like, Soul Stealer doesn't have Portal Key. That's probably one of the only problems about going the Assassin's Shroud. You can't really follow up the
And again, mid lane Rally now. It's gonna get Calfield down. It's gonna be a Neos Blessing that's gonna go up really quickly. Ophelia's touch, sorry. And meanwhile, Hellborn does snag up the kill on Kiddo. That's gonna be the Rally. He is supposed to be a force to be reckoned with in this game, but not so much yet. And it seems like Boo Boo might be going down here. Yes, he will go down. And on the flip side, Tremble, knowing that there is nothing he can do against the MRR train, you're gonna have to do a separate split push, smaller skirmish on his attempt here. He does have Boris that's gonna be able to just tank up a lot of damage from this defense tower. And here comes Soul Stealer, carry against carry. What's gonna happen? No one really knows, but Soul Stealer is gonna reveal himself right about now, dealing again a real deal amount of damage against the Tremble. Tremble running away in the fastest speed possible, but Soul Stealer just deal a lot of damage. He doesn't want to risk it to, you know, try and pot away, or rather use the Homecoming Stone right now. He might Terramount away, but here comes the Soul Stealer. He's gonna go in and will reveal Tremble instead. Yep, he's gonna spot Tremble out here. It's gonna be 1 against 1 and just 1 or 2 more auto attacks, and he might go down. But Demon Hand is gonna try and wait for that. Lands a Terramount just to make sure he keeps safe, and that is gonna be a real tease against the Soul Stealer, because the real thing that happened there is the mid push.
Yep, and that's because you see the bear does have Sacred Relic now. Not Sacred, the Sword of the High, and that's gonna translate into an early Monk of Brilliance. And it's not the fastest one, but with the way that the game's been shaping up, it's pretty good because they've been getting harassed heavily by this Hellborn team. They're only 3 kills against this 12 kills coming from MRR right now. So MRR is just really taking it to them.
Pot's coming in down south here. Pot's going out also. Tower goes down quickly, but it is going to be fine. Bubbles might be a little bit of a pinch though. He's going to meet up with Walso, but Walso is a hero with no stun. So not the wisest choice to put a hero with no stun to chase out the last lick there. But that being said, the 3 is to 12 here, and all the outer towers already taken down. Orange is in a really bad spot. They should really do whatever they can right now. They are pushing, and that is a good sign of life breathing into this team. But really, the biggest question is, can Tremble win the Soul Stealer? That's his sole purpose of existence right now, to carry his team, and he has to win the Soul Stealer to do that.
The thing is, he can kind of win because he has the support of the what do you call this Wild Soul, who can do a lot of work as well. Like, if one route happens with Soul Stealer is gonna be in a lot of trouble, especially if he doesn't have his not Sacred Relic, the Demonic Breastplate just yet. Oh, this is really nice snipe coming up from Minotaur.
Yep, it is, and it seems like the Minotaur are now going to be in a really precarious situation, and down goes the Bubbles, as well as the Pesty. Gonna catch Shui again, Shui goes down quickly. Minotaur now going to be a lot of trouble. It's going to be a triple kill, triple Minotaur kill for the Soul Stealer there with the Demon. And now Boris also, it seems like they're going to break away this happy family, but Boris is going to try and run away though, and Bubbles still in hot pursuit, or rather he is going to give up.
Yep, and that just goes back to the fact that Soul Stealer is the highest level in this game. He had a lot of farm, and you can't do that, especially with a super snowballing hero like Soul Stealer. If he gets the levels against you, he will have that Dread Armor, which is I think -5. Yeah, -5 at max level. He has 40 souls. That's extra. What, 80 damage, which is pretty insane. And then he has the Demonic Hands that deal 300 magic damage each. So he's a lot of burst and physical sustainable DPS, so it's just one of those heroes you can't take lightly. He can probably go for Shrunken Hit, yep, he just purchases right there, and probably his next item could even be something like the Demonic Breastplate. That will help him out so much more, unless he wants to go for a Geometer's Bane, which can prove actually very useful as well, and then have the Pestilence carry the Demonic Breastplate, because that would help him a lot. Here we go.
Oh, clutch! Shrunken there by Tremble. Tremble now looking away, but the Lucky Gore is still gonna go up there. But the Raid Master's call is gonna make sure that Tremble is fine. That being said, though, back to the point about Soul Stealer there. The extra 10 soul does give him over 200 damage at level 11's, as in level 2 ulti there. So level 3 is going to give him a total of 300 extra damage there. And that's on top of whatever damage he's been dealing thus far in the entire, well, history of New Earth. So that being said, he does also deal shit ton of damage as covered by Larcms. So it's really a very scary hero.
Yep, it's just one of those snowball heroes you can't give that early advantage to. Tremble is not one of those heroes that, yeah, he snowballs, and then he's like, you can't stop him. He can be stopped. In fact, especially as you see how the game is progressing, he doesn't have the best start. He is sitting at 413 gold per minute. Oh my god, middle lane? Nope, that's solutions. Okay, they're gonna go ahead and push aggression top lane, so
yep,
just
they
hold that
are.
thought.
We did see a little bit of a slowdown in the train, but it's still on schedule. Now trying to push out the top lane, a little bit of anti-push coming from ORGE spots, and MRR is going to call it off. Wow, they are going to call it off there. A lot of work to bring down my Tremble in the long lane down south. He is going to try and push as much as possible to try and pressure MRR to come in and defend. And that, to me, is a very wise strategy, because if he does that successfully, do note Tremble is completely map mobile. If he does that successfully, man, MR is gonna be so distracted that they are not gonna have full heart into pushing. And once both Walso as well as Tremble farms up enough item, they might be able to win a social like you mentioned.
And if you notice now, Torture just purchased a what is it, the Blessed Orb, so he's gonna go for a Colder Sheep Stick. He's sitting at 300 gold per minute as a secondary support, so this Hellborn team is doing really well, and it's also tied to the fact that they've got a lot of kills in the earlier segment of this game, plus they're starting to push down now. They're even gonna address this base tower at the top, and that's gonna be very good for them. Token still on Soul Stealer, so they can have all means. Here we go.
Oh, here comes the big impale bypass D. It seems like MOE is gonna be the first sacrificial tomb there. It's gonna go down, but a lucky strike there by Boo Boo is gonna lock Patsy in place. Patsy looking to go down, Soul Stealer's gonna let a big fart! But it's okay, only Tremble is shrunken headed, but again, it doesn't do much of a damage because they are all on the outskirts of it already. That being said, MRR's train is gonna have to postpone a slight little more in this case, and that should be fine. Orange definitely won that defense there.
Yeah, they did, but they lost a hero for that, and that was the Master of Arms. The thing is, they didn't expel much on Hellborn. They didn't die. They only used the energy field and the soul burst. Yeah, it wasn't the best use of it, but those are relatively quick cooldowns. Like the soul burst will be up in another 80 seconds. They won't be taking a team fight anytime soon because they know that they want to get probably some items up, and Token is well on 4 minutes, so there's really no rush. They can just use it for passive farming. But against this Legion team, you do not want to give them any space to farm, because if while Soul gets farmed, Tremble gets farmed, they just, two heroes automatically split push 2 lanes while the rest of their teammates defend. And they can defend pretty well because they have the Ophelia, the Master of Arms, and this rally. So that's a decent combination coming out there for this Legion team.
Yep, do note there's a token on the Soul Stealer, and he also has got a Shrunken Head already completed. So he's doing a lot of work as well. It's not as if that because he's pushing he's not farming. He does have very good GPM, about 530 plus. And well, definitely you can see the Tremble and also have most of the farm from Team Legion, but they are definitely a little bit behind. But do note that if 2 against 1, it should be pretty well. And if you really want to paint a picture there, we'll hold that thought a little bit, because here comes the Pasty Great Team Pill again, rally now. A little bit of trouble there. Shrunken Head, Soul still goes in, but it does not have the Soul Burst. It doesn't seem to be the case. Here comes also Shrunken Head to Tremble, and he is trying to make some work onto the Engineer. Gets the kill easily, but now is going to go down quickly because of a critical damage there coming by Soul Stealer. Critical is in, he deals a lot of damage also. That being said, Kido does go down. Shit1x picking up the double kill there. Boo Boo takes the fall, and Legion team, they don't have anything else, but Tremble does buy back. They want to kill this Soul Stealer so bad that they better do it right now. Soul Stealer is going to get dusted. The Soul Burst is going to be infected, but it will be fine. Again, the second Soul Stealer comes back and he doesn't have Shrunken Head. A little bit of a mistake. He should have saved it for a second, but it does kill the Tremble, and it's going to kill the Ophelia as well. And this is just such a raid boss, man. It's like a game where you are playing MMO and you're against something that you cannot kill. It's an impossible boss with 2 times life. Really, really mad.
Wow, that was big plays and very nice coordination coming up from MRR, man. That was just insane. Like, they knew Soul Stealer would be able to survive that. That was good use of the token, actually. Although it wasn't as effective because they didn't get the racks, or at least the tower kill at the top lane. But still, they don't, if I'm not mistaken, none of them died again. Only the Soul Stealer dying, and they're just expelling that token availability. And like, that just means that pushes back the Legion team that much more again, because you saw WTF actually buying back and dying in that previous team fight. I think it. I'm not sure if it was that buyback over at the team fight or before that. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think it was the previous team fight. He's only down to 1 buyback token now, pushes his farm back even much more. He won't get his Frostburn anytime soon. Hellborn just needs to continue farming. Here we go again.
Yep, it seems like some work is being done here. Again, an impale from Pesty is going to mark the start of a new engagement. And right now, Kiddo is just forced to run away. There's nothing else he could really do. He does have to swarm, which means he's going to be completely revealed. And his team will leave him to die somehow. Yep, there's no way they can save him against both aggro coming from the Pesty as well as that of the Soul Stealer. A little bit of a pot coming in here, but it's going to be fine. And somehow he just survives. An amazing play there by Kiddo. He does have the compel, and this can be fine. But here comes the Bubbles to try and mop up the kill. And he's going to be successful.
Yeah, that. Oh wow. Okay, like MR, I wouldn't say that those the best of plays because they should have played around with like the kills that they could definitely get. If Bubbles wasn't there in the vicinity, they would have let the rally survive and they
Meanwhile,
wasted quite a lot. But yeah.
Bottom lane being pushed by Tremble alone. Top lane completely being trained in here by MRR. And the train is going to carry on the pain train. It's going to knock on the Millibrax here. Is that going to be enough defense? That's the question that Orange has to answer. And it seems like it's not going to be enough. The Millibrax does go down, but it's going to be somehow a little bit good news that the range break is still standing. They're going to try and pursue matter on the Soul Stealer. Soul Stealer running very quickly. And on the flip side though, the energy field is going to slow things down a lot on the Legion defense initiative. But of course, Soul Stealer is going to come in and pick up the kill on Boo Boo. That being said, down south only the tower was destroyed. Tremble does spot away safely. But again, a Millibrax was wrecked out there, and the Millibrax does regen over time here. So this 2/3 of a health Millibrax is going to be fine very quickly.
Yep, and they're gonna destroy this Terra Mount because they definitely don't want to give Trumbull that ability to port there. Hopefully they spot out the one on the right side. Where is this, guys? Okay, maybe they don't see it. Yeah, I think. Yeah, they probably don't see it because it's kind of on that ledge and nearby the right side there, so it's really unfortunate. They will try to address this tier 2 bot, which is probably the best move now because they can go ahead for the tier 3 tower at the bottom lane plus the Raxus, and that will provide a lot of space for them because at the same time the Legion team has to defend the push coming out from the top lane creeps from Hellborn, so they have a lot of things working in their favor now, especially the items as well.
Yep, but they are knocking onto the tier 2 down south here, and very little amount of time it is left for Tremble to try and push the top lane by himself. He is now joined by N-Killer. I do believe there's a Mock of Brilliance and Boo Boo already. So that's going to be good, and they are going to be knocking on tier 3 quickly.
Yeah, he's had that Mocker Balance for a while. I do believe he's saving up the 2k gold for a oh, okay, a pause. Interesting.
Strat pause now, maybe. Kiddo is gonna pot back home. Ophelia I mean, he should have passed the homecoming stone to Ophelia and let Ophelia send him home. That would be the right way to play this combo here. But a little bit lack of communication there. It seems like Ophelia will not be able to channel. I don't think that the judgment affects herself, right?
No, she cannot. She cannot do that.
That's why the shift just
That's
switched it around a little
probably
bit.
that's a bit insane if you could do that. Like, I'll go in, guys. I'll bait out all the skills and then whoosh, I'm back in base. But yeah, Tremble does have finally the Frost Burn, so he's gonna attack pretty fast and have a
Yep.
decent slow mechanism. But you see already Soul Stealer's top lane, and Soul Stealer is just going for full mobility. He has that portal key. He had it in a previous team fight as well at the top lane, and so he's chasing down the rally with, you know, like no tomorrow. But I definitely feel like his next item should probably be a damage one. He can go for that Soul's Bulwark if he wants, because it's gonna be a while before Pestilence gets that. There is that Soul Bulwark pick up on Wild Soul, which I was about to mention. Boo Boo finally has that, which means now that he and Tremble can push down lanes with no issue. And the thing is, they can't, like Hellborn, they have to either commit or just port back and defend, which just means that they open up again that much more space for Orange Esports, because they force back the ports, then they just back off, then they rinse and repeat, and doing so they waste a lot of gold coming from the Hellborn team. They give space for Orange Esports to continue farming, and eventually it will come to a stage where Walso has like 12 items, Tremble has 6 plus that Bloody Boris that can be pretty damn annoying. It's gonna be very, very difficult to handle.
Yep. And that being said though, well, Soul Stealer right now already at the top lane here. He's gonna nicely try and address the Tremble, but Tremble doesn't have any pot back. Not a Terra Mount is in sight though, but don't forget he does have it off cooldown, so he can actually quickly spawn a Terra Mount and pot back home if he wants to. The problem with running away from Soul Stealer is that he can't use Terra Mount to pot away because Soul Stealer just hits like a truck. And look at Soul Stealer's damage, man. 243 without any damaging item. That's a sign that 40 soul is just way too OP. With the Dread, it does minus also 5 armor, and that's why it just syncs so nicely with Pestilence, because the Swarm level 16 just minus 18 armor. Right now only 12, but 12 plus 5 is 17, and you do the math, man. There is almost virtually no one on Team Legion that's gonna be standing with positive armor if it's gonna be targeted by this combo.
Wild Soul.
Yeah,
Waltz
Waltz
can.
has got 18. Yeah, that's my bad. Waltz is gonna be fine, but once Pesty hits 16, it's a different story.
Yeah, and Boo Boo, like Boo Boo can get bursted down really fast as well. Even though he has 2.7k HP, 15 armor, completely burns through it. Every auto attack is gonna deal like a Soul Stealer is hitting for what 200 auto attack per hit. So he's gonna kill Boo Boo in like a couple of hits. Like he just needs a few before it dies with the rest of his teammates support, plus the minus armor coming from himself and the Pestilence, who is apparently DC'd. Hopefully he comes back today. But yeah, I mean Tremble, he is sitting at only about 700 gold. I'm not sure if he has purchased anything yet. I don't see anything in career. The reason why he's just so far behind, he had to expel the buyback previously in the very earlier team fight. So he just did finish up the Frostburn. I'm not sure if he's gonna go finish up the Dawnbringer yet, or probably go for another item. He probably needs another damage item if he wants to continue this aggressive push play. Because I do believe that him and Walso will not be together when they try to split push. Like the best way to utilize the resources is just have one guy push one lane and another guy push the other lane, because eventually it will force the Hellburn team to port back. They need to defend their towers. If not, they have to commit all in into destroying the base from this Legion team.
Yep, that's right. So again, it seems like Hellborn is. They do know that they're working against time here, and the problem with Hellborn is that they are taking a little bit of their own sweet time. They do have the top lane melee barracks racked up, but only 27 minutes, and just a small little achievement them for there for them. Really, they need to just nicely concentrate and make sure that something big is going to be happening soon. If not, if this does drag into the 40 minutes mark, I do believe that Team Legion should be able to take a team fight anytime. There we go. Pesty is actually going to nicely try and reconnect back here. Hellborn definitely have got a lot of buyback. In fact, none of the buyback already used. Legion on the flip side, though, WTF already wasting one buyback. So that's only the last buyback on WTF. And if he uses it again, it's going to be done. That being said, though, I do believe that Kong is going to spawn in the next 5 minutes thereabouts. And if that happens also, and if that goes to Hellborn, that would be a lot of blessing on their part there. They are going to be in such a good position to win this game. And on the flip side, the Legion, there is a lot of things that they can really do. But I'm thinking right now that the biggest recipe to success for them in this game is to buy time. Delay is just the name of their game.
Exactly. Like they need to have that time to farm up on themselves and open up some space for the rest of their teammates on the map, because they're just so far behind. They don't have map control. They're trying their best to really ward, and big props to Mr. Ghost for really being able to settle some wards there for the rest of his teammates. It's nicely spotting out all this action coming out from the Hellburn team, and that's what's really keeping them back in this game. Because with those wards, they know, okay, yeah, there's 3 heroes bot. There's a couple of heroes here. There's a couple of heroes there.
Duncan
Okay.
headed, Soul Stealer comes in. Tremble might be facing a Soul Burst goes down, and WTF has been taken care of. It's a big kill there for Soul Stealer. He does channel it up really nicely, completely invis and all. And WTF, man, you never knew what hit him.
Yeah, yeah, that's the power of Soul Stealer, man. Especially with the Assassin Shroud. It's a lot better as compared to Portal Key, because you actually can stand on top of the person, and when you release the Soul Burst, that's the full amount of damage. Usually with a Portal Key, even if you're next to them, it's not as effective. Like, the damage is still damn high, don't get me wrong, but it's not like maximum efficiency over there. Soul Stealer has a double damage as well now.
Oh wow, crap, he
insane.
hits for like what? 340 now?
Yeah.
Ooh, looking to just, sorry?
Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and address bottom lane. They're already rushing here. They know that Tremble's only gonna be up in a couple more seconds, but they by all means can take a team fight. Shrunken Head already completed Pestilence, and that's what's the saving grace. Here we go.
Impale goes in. There's no Soul Burst this time around, but it seems like Pesty is going to be able to take out Ophelia really quickly. And it seems like Rally is already with the Raymaster's Call. It's going to try run away, but there's also the Engineer ulti, and it's going to be able to just give them a little bit of a space here. Do note the double damage is going to expire in just a few more seconds on Soul Stealer. Tremble already coming back quickly, and if they lose this team fight here, Orange is done. But not so soon. Look at that. Tremble completely ignoring the team fight down south. He's going to try and knock on the range barracks there. Boris doing a good job alone. Tremble on the flip side is going to try and make something happen by himself. I do believe that he is going to go for does he want to port? Does he want to do something? I don't know, man. But Tremble, WTF, you better know what he's doing in this game. That being said, though, Hellborn is not going to stop the pain train. The tower down south is going to be nice to destroy. That's a tier 3. and we do have the Millibrax now being challenged, but again, they don't have full health, and this anti-push seems to be a little bit more effective. They are not taking team fight really. They lost the Ophelia, but again, all that's really burning them is, wow, that's OP really. Boris there. That's completely Boris and Ophelia minions.
Yeah, that was funny to see that Ophelia, what's his name? Beltrulord was just
But
standing
again,
in the background.
Millibrax being destroyed in the Legion's base. It seems like all that's standing is going to be the range barracks. And Hellborn, as an MR, is really just intentionally leaving both range barracks at the top and bottom untouched. They know that definitely a lot of creep is going to come in here quickly, but do note that there's already a Mock of Brilliance on Boo Boo. And the lane down south, it doesn't seem like that Hellborn is going to have the automated push because they don't have the melee and the range barracks, whereas Legion, they only lost the melee. So the range creeps are not going to be mega in the lane, in the bottom lane, whereas the top lane is a different story. And you can see that definitely Tremble was trying to make something happen again. And that's going to be a little bit of a good play because he knew that if he took a team fight there, he's going to lose it really miserably. So he made Hellborn think twice, and that's after all a good play.
Yep, and I really love this item pickup from Bubbles coming out now. Oh, hold on, thought, Rally.
Rally is wow, a quick river spot there by Soul Stealer, somehow not going to commit to the kill there. I don't know what went wrong. Could have been an easy soul burst or maybe just a few more to attack with a demon hand. That's going to be enough, but he doesn't want to kill there. He's going to pot back and play safe. A little bit of misplay there by doing Q.
Yeah, I think the problem was he probably had the portal key already selected and got startled when Pestilence blinked in. Probably thought it was someone else. He blinked out, or I don't know what was the case over there. But nonetheless, he could have. That would have been a sure kill onto. Here we go.
Kill again onto Cipher, and that's the Waltzel. Waltzel going down. There's no more Boo Boo if he dies, and he goes down quickly. Boo Boo goes to hell with him, and also MOA is going to join them quickly. Shot after. All that's going to be left is the melee barracks and the range barracks and middle lane there, but it may not stand too long. Range barracks going to get taken out this time, but WTF just doing his own thing and knocking on the melee barracks up north here. And it's going to be a base rush somehow. Hellborn's going to try and knock on the range back. That's the last two towers standing for Team Legion. I do believe that this is going to go down equally fast, and Pesty is going to try and knock on the one up north. But if they can buy some time, here comes Kiddo and a big side speed slam play, but he got silenced. Wow, Kiddo does manage to just run away and out of range from the energy field. The Boo Boo doing a lot of work there, and Gino might be able to try and go down here. He is definitely going to go down. Chain reaction is going to stun both of them. But meanwhile, top lane, range backs already taken care of, and it seems like WTF's mission wasn't successful there. But it's going to be good now because he is going to join up with the rest of his team to try and mop up MRR. And if this is going to be translating to a good push, I mean, they can't reach the Hellborn base in time as 5 because there is going to be buyback.
Yeah, there's buybacks, plus they're gonna have to deal with mega creeps. So it's pretty over for Legion. That's why you can see them going as 5 now. They know that, guys, we have to end this as ASAP because it's mega creeps. It's now or never. I would actually like to see them actually just purchase all damage items or anything, sell whatever they can. Like even Master Farms, like sell the bloody Amulet of Exile, get more damage items, so just auto attack everything to death.
This is going to be a dream come true for the MOA. Master of Arms there. It's going to want some real weapons to fight with. But that being said though, we do look at Team Legion now going to try and push onto the Hellborn base. Of course, 33 minutes up already. And this is a do or die situation for Orange Esports. They want to try and make this work here. Are we going to see big play? For sure. But what's going to happen really is that Ford's going to be caught off first. Next target's gonna be used, and Boo Boo taking a little bit of damage. He does go down to 50%. Have a big impale landing on Ophelia. Ophelia might be going down quickly. Soul Burst affecting both Ophelia as well as MOA, and this could be it. It's gonna be done. 2-0 so far. And also, looking to pull away, but of course the quick gore is gonna stop him. And meanwhile, WTF trying to just bite on the torture, but here comes the raid boss, and Soulster is gonna try to smack him down with a demon hand. That's gonna be good enough. Rally looking to make some damage, just gonna seismic slam. I do believe it's lag, but it's gonna be conceded, and there we go. Orange Esports is done.
Yeah, there's really no way that they could come back from that. That's okay. Look at this, like 0, 6, and 3 for both the mid lane heroes. That is your Master of Arms and also your mid laner there, who is being played by Kiddo, the Rally. And when your Rally can't get anything done in the game and just keeps dying over and over again, not able to set up kills, like he only had 3 assists. The thing is, Legion team couldn't put forth any sort of aggression because Soul Stealer just completely snowballed in that game. His GPM wasn't as high as I expected it to be, but it's still fairly high, and he's sitting at 11-0 and 12. He went for like just full on gank potential items. After his shrunken hit and assassin shot, he went for a portal key as well. So he wanted more mobility. He wanted to be in the team fights together with this who is this pestilence. He wanted to make sure that when pestilence jumped in, he would jump in as well at the same time and instantly press that R button, throw out the huge ass fart like you mentioned, and kill everything in sight with the big smoke ass bomb. But yeah, I mean, like Legion team, they really couldn't do anything. Like they tried to find space by split pushing, but it wasn't enough. And that's has to tie in mainly to the fact that MRR stuck to the guns. And like I said, the only way that Orange Esports would have won that from the split push is had MRR decided to defend. But they stuck to the guns. They knew that, yeah, we're gonna go all in on this Rax and just quickly destroy it. They committed and they won the team fight. They won the Raxes, and yep, that's what eventually won them the game.
And they won a game as well, so don't forget to mention that. That being said, MRR doing a really good job in that game. The Soul Stealer, man, being in play here. The Dread plus the Pesty. There was a lot of combo going to that. We didn't expect Soul Stealer to just snowball so quickly. Of course, he did have the heavy mission of winning that game for his team. Of course, do note that out of the 3 lanes, his was the only lane that didn't have many problems against the wall. So, and he did have the easy kill in the earlier part of this game. That being said, though, this is Babael. With me is Lark. We'll be back with Game 2 real soon, so do stay tuned. And Game 2 is going to be the same action between Orange Esports and MRR. We'll be back. Sit tight and see ya.